Sup boys, it's your boy Deathboy here, and welcome back to another DedChat. So to start off the year, I felt like making a bit of I guess like a hope core style video or something, and it's more of that, every year during the new year, for a long time, I would struggle, personally. I would struggle a lot every year, so around New Year's, because it was a time where I thought, this is when, like, this year is going to be different, right? This year I'm going to lock in. This year it's going to be this year this year that, right? Not to say that it's a bad thing, right? Everybody has New Year resolutions, and New Year's is just a time in general where everybody, wants to, it's almost like a clean slate, a fresh start, and it's good to want to use that to motivate you and to take advantage of your time that way. But with my little story, I struggled for a long time with New Year's, because it got to a point where I dreaded it, right? I didn't like New Year resolutions. I didn't like it because I felt like at the end of the year I didn't feel different. I felt like all the goals I had set out for myself I didn't achieve, nor did I change in the way I wanted to change. But recently, literally actually not on New Year's Eve, I looked back on 2025, and for the first time in my life, I think I can genuinely say I changed. And not in the sense that I did change, but in the fact that I'm a very different person that I was the year before. And in this little time of just thinking, I slowly began to realize that in reality every year I have changed. Not realizing it, but every year I do change as a person, little by little. I take up new hobbies, I try new things. I'm a different person than who I was. And I guess it it took me 23 years to realize that. To realize that, I have achieved what I set out to do in 2025, and that was just to change, to be a better person than I was last year. And that is my same goal this year, where I simply just want to be better. I want to be better than who I was last year. Not in the sense that last year I wasn't good, but just be better and constantly evolve myself and work on myself and become a better person. And that's where it comes to the topic for today. And I guess, I want to just put this out there just for the love of the game. But unironically, I know so many people say this, but I feel like maybe hearing this from somebody who isn't super famous or super rich, hearing this from somebody who's, in their 20s, living with their girlfriends, parents, doesn't have a job right now. Like I am not in the best state, but I'm a very lucky person, and I acknowledge that. But you can be better. You can work on yourself. You can achieve all the goals you set out for yourself. Everything you want in your life is obtainable. It is possible to do. When life gets tough, you just you gotta tough it out. Life is hard, and life is hard, but you can, fuck with it. Like, in the sense that it doesn't have to be hard for you. You work on yourself, and it's a very much a mindset thing, and I'm realizing that. And it was cringy at first. I'm not gonna lie. When I was younger, I thought it was super cringe that people were like, "Oh, you just gotta change your mindset. You just gotta think positive, right?" But ever since I have been doing that, ever since I decided to just not stop being negative in my life and start being more positive, it really has changed my life. It really has made me see things in a clearer, happier way. And not to say, when like not to how do I put this? Negative things happen, and you're allowed to have it impact you. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to feel all these things, but it shouldn't stay that way forever. You should, learn to cope and be happy and just be happy, I guess, right? And I guess, a lot of people might say, "Oh, well, you're in such a good spot in your life. Obviously, you're happy." Right? But, there's shit that goes on in the backgrounds where, every day, everybody has their days, right? Everybody has their days, and you just got to make the most of it. You only get so much time in your life. To waste it is a tragedy. In life, you can go in the blink of an eye. Anything can happen at any moment, and you shouldn't take life for granted. I know sometimes it's hard, sometimes it sucks, sometimes you don't know how you're going to get out of this, but there's always that inevitability that good things will come to them. Though good things will happen, they will, and you just gotta believe in that. So, I don't care if this gameplay ends. I'm gonna keep yapping. I'll figure out what to put in the background after it ends. But I guess what I also have been thinking a lot about is hope in general. Right, and hope is such a powerful thing, and I know a lot of people don't like it because it lets them down whenever they're hoping for something else. But I personally think, as funny as it is, nothing is more powerful than your will, than your spirit, than than the indomitable human spirit. It's so powerful that you got to utilize it in a way to benefit you and to do all these things. And I'm not gonna lie, at this point I think I sound like I'm kind of just yapping, but if anybody takes anything away from this, I just want them to know that the bad times aren't gonna be forever. There was a time in my life where I thought I was gonna live the worst of it forever. But due to just life happening, and due to me, taking opportunities, taking chances, taking risks in your life, good things will happen. And, you will get what you work for. If you put your mind to something, if you genuinely lock in, you will achieve it. And I genuinely believe that. If anything, if you don't think anybody believes in you, I believe in you. I think every single one of you watching this will achieve what they want in their life. And it may not be in a very clear way, right? Maybe you won't be a billionaire, right? Or you will, right? But it's the fact that I think working on bettering yourself is so good, and putting your time into something like that is so great, because why else are you going to do it than for yourself, than for your own happiness? Who else is going to be there for you besides your loved ones, right? When times get tough, you just got to dig deep. And sometimes if you are alone, if nobody is there, you just have to know that there are people who are going through what you're going through, who've gone through what you've gone through, and it's gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be okay in the end, right? So if you're feeling down right now, if you don't think 2026 is gonna be your year, just stand up, dust yourself off, and lock the fuck in. Lock the fuck in. because this is going to be a banger year. Me and my girlfriend have set so many goals for ourselves to happen this year. And I truly believe I can achieve all of it. I believe anybody can achieve anything that they want. So, I guess for this year, my priority word of the year would be lock in. You know, if not for if not for anybody, for yourself, just do it. Just do what you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. Not to say go crazy and stuff, but I think you guys understand what I mean. And, you know, if this video was a bit cringy, I apologize. But I just felt like I needed to say this. And even if nobody listens to this, even if this video gets 0 views, at least I know I said it. So, as always, guys, I really want to thank all of you for watching. If you actually stuck out this long, what are your goals for 2026? What is that thing you're gonna do that to lock the fuck in and complete and achieve and put your mind to? Because you are unstoppable. You are unstoppable. So lock the fuck in. And let's get that bread, boys. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing night. Have an awesome fucking year. And I'll see you on the next one. Later.